up, guys, and welcome back to this week's episode of What's on Your Mind with Josh Kozuch. This is our third week now, and in this week's episode, we're going to talk about how do you handle and how do you work with that person who says that they're always going to do something, but then never follows through with it. Now, where do we get this idea from this week? Well, this past Wednesday, I posted on my Instagram story. I wanted to know what was on your mind from a mental performance perspective. What do you want to know a little bit more about? And I got a lot of great responses, anywhere from goal setting to breathing techniques to what is visualization, just a bunch of great things. And I responded to each of you individually, and hopefully it was what you were looking for and the type of answers you wanted. But again, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to do that. I really appreciate it. But the one that really stood out to me the most was the question about how do you handle and work with somebody who always says that they're going to do something but doesn't end up following through. And this can be particularly tough as a leader, because if this person is working below you and you're asking them to do something, or they say they're going to do something and it's not getting done, it becomes a reflection of you. Now, how do you handle that? How do you deal with that? And to me, it really comes down to a 4-step process. Now, the first step is building a relationship. It doesn't matter who it's with. If it's the people that work above you, below you, with you, for you, whatever it may be, you have to build strong relationships. I think that's true of anything in life. So get to know that person. Get to know, where are they from? What is their background? Where do they live? Do they have a family? Do they have kids? What is their backstory? When you show that interest, and when you also share your own interests, it creates a bond. It creates empathy. It creates a relationship between you. And when you have that, it will help with the rest of these things as we talk about it. And the second step is understanding that person's why. Why do they do what they do? And so there's a book out there called Start With Why by Simon Sinek, which many of you may have heard or have read. Great book. But what he talks about are the great leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Steve Jobs. All of those type of great leaders started with their why they did what they did. And that's what drove them, and that's what motivated them. When they knew what their why was, the rest of it took care of itself. So ask your people that you work with, ask your employers, why did they do what they do? Get to know them. Again, it goes back to building relationships, but understand at a deeper level, why do you do what you do? So one great example might be somebody wants to work out. Okay, well, why do you want to work out? Well, I want to work out because I want to get stronger. Okay, that's good. Well, I want to work out because I want to lose weight. Okay, great. But let's get deeper. Let's get into it a little bit more. Why do you want to do that? What is the why to your why? So why do you want to get stronger? Why do you want to lose weight? Well, I want to lose weight because I want to have a healthy life. I have a family to support. I want to be around to see my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids. That's a why. When you get to the deep granular level of your why, that's when you know you've established a great why. So get to know, first off, your own why, and then what somebody else's why is. Now, I wrote down a quote, and I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget it. But the quote goes, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." So let me repeat that again. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. So it starts with why, guys. Which leads me to the next step, the third step. The how, the when, and the where. So we're going to create an action plan. Now we know why we're going to do something. Let's create an action plan. Let's start with when. So let's go back to the example again of working out. Well, when are you going to work out? When is the best time to do it? Maybe it's the morning. Maybe it's at lunchtime. Maybe it's after work. Maybe you have 45 minutes to squeeze in a break. Whatever it may be, find your when. So write that down. Where? Where am I going to work out? Maybe it's at home. Maybe you have a home gym set up. Maybe it's Planet Fitness or Lifetime. Maybe it's at work. Maybe there's a facility or a gym there for you to work out. Write down where you're going to work out. And then lastly, how. So my own personal experience, especially when it comes to working out, if I just go to the gym on a Tuesday and I have no idea what I'm going to do, I'll stand there and I'll be like, maybe I should run today, or maybe I'll do curls, or maybe I'll do bench press. And I end up not doing a whole lot. If I write down ahead of time or have an idea what I'm going to do when I get there and how I'm going to do it, it's huge. So maybe on Mondays you write down chest and tricep day. So I'm going to do bench press, I'm going to do some kickbacks, I'm going to do some skull crushers, whatever it may be. Have some sort of plan, your how. So step 3 is create an action plan, a when, a where, and a how. And the fourth step and the last step is accountability. So accountability is very important, not only to yourself, but to others. So you want to be able to help out others, and by doing that, we got to be able to have communication. We got to be able to know what's going on. We have to be able to help them. We have to be able to share and be vulnerable as well. But again, we can't do that if we don't have solid relationships. So to me, it becomes a cycle. Step 1 through 4, building relationships, understanding a why, creating an action plan, and then holding people and ourselves accountable. Those 4 steps, if we stick to those, I think more often than not, you're going to be able to have solid relationships. You're going to be able to have employees who are able to get the work done that you ask of them and that they say that they're going to do. But again, it comes down to those 4 steps. So thank you guys for your time today, and have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you.